It's Halloween season, and I found the scariest creative maps in Fortnite. And to be honest, I really wish I hadn't. Some of these maps are so good. You know, I consider myself a brave person, but oh! People are doing work in UEFN. I've got a handful of different maps here, a couple by the same creators, so they're not spoiled. I'm just gonna talk about what kind of map it is, what kind of experience you can expect, and leave all the jump scares for you to enjoy yourself. One thing I will say before we get into the scariest Fortnite maps of the season, while you can play some of these maps with other players or your friends, I think if you really want to maximize your scare factor, you should definitely play solo and first person whenever you get the chance. These aren't in any particular order, but I am saving a couple of the scariest for last. First up, everyone's favorite creepypasta, Slenderman. By Slenderman? Slenderman's one of my favorite internet horror stories. A lot of fun lore there, which makes for some pretty good games. This Fortnite map is very similar to the Slenderman game that came out a few years ago. If you look at him, there's a static effect. He's just always popping up. And similarly, you're going around collecting notes. That pretty much explains the premise of this map. I don't know what happens when you collect all the notes, because when it comes to horror games and collecting a lot of things, I have mixed feelings. I grabbed a couple of them. It was interesting. I'd love to see what you get when you collect all the notes, but I was trying to save myself some time, and I felt like I got all the scares I could get out of Slenderman creeping around behind me. I think this is the one I was already in. Ah! So I moved on. But if you've played this one, let me know what happens when you get all the notes down below. Give everyone a little spoiler alert. I definitely think that it being like an existing game maybe made it a little bit easier for them, but I think they did a really good job recreating the atmosphere and the feelings and the spookiness of that kind of game. So next up is Shy Guy by RB26. I think they have a few horror maps out there. I got drawn to this one because of the main character, really creepy looking in the thumbnail. A real focus on, you know, design aspects. There's cutscenes, there's some well thought out puzzles, and, you know, a general creepiness factor throughout the map. I did want to try to get a nice mix of maps in here, so next up is a 101 level escape room horror. And the thumbnail says impossible, but it's not that bad. This is by Miyazux. Definitely some nice jump scares in here. There's a creepy clown that's hanging out. What? Probably like this with a lot of Fortnite escape rooms. You get into a groove, the puzzles seem easy, and then you just get one where you're stumped for 5 minutes. Oh, wow, all the way back there. And that happens here. But I think it's a great way to get some, you know, seasonal, some festive XP if you haven't done all those quests yet. And there's definitely some jump scares thrown in there for good measure. If you have any other horror escape rooms or different kind of creative maps like that you think people should check out, maybe even scarier than this one, let us know down in the comments below. Next up is Banana Nightmare by Nefertiti7, and you know I clicked on this because of the thumbnail. Super scary peely. I had to know what was going on there. Horror peely kind of reminded me of something like the old B horror movies, where it was like kind of funny but still a little bit creepy. Did I eat it? Oh no. Oh no. The banana was bad. It was a bad nanner. Is he gonna run across the hallway? Where's he going? Oh my god. And I think that's pretty much the vibe of the whole map. It has a very indie horror vibe. And while it was fun and had some good jump scares, I did run into a broken part at the end. So if that was just me, let everybody know down below and how you feel about Banana Nightmare. Next up, we move into some Japanese horror. Another map from Nefertiti7, Okame no Yakata. Great thumbnail here that just pulled me and my friends in. We had to check it out. Nefertiti7 did Banana Nightmare, of course. I like Okame no Yakata a bit more. Also was able to finish this map. There are some platforming elements. It did give me a little bit of like Chill's Art, Yuki Onna vibes. You got these old style kind of Japanese wooden walls and creepy faced monster. There's jump scares. There's the platforming in the middle was the only thing that kind of threw me and my friends off. I don't know why they added parkour into this, but I think this one's definitely worth checking out. Next up, we have some more Japanese horror with Kaiki Hyukubun by Saint. It's down here. Certainly not a monster. If you have any problem with spiders, you might want to avoid this one. Creepy crawlies of all sizes. You're in a very creepy old Japanese basement situation. was that thing? Spider with a human head. You're just looking for some pages to unlock a door to get yourself out. I hate how these little crawly things sound. I feel like this is one map that makes really good use of the flashlight. A lot of the horror maps include them, but if you know anything about the flashlight in Fortnite, the range isn't very good, so you kind of need to be in these enclosed spaces, and I think this map does a really good job of that. And the creep factor is super high. I promise I didn't realize how many times Never D7 was on this list until just now. Definitely my favorite map by this creator, and one of the scariest, most filled with jump scares that we played was Hotel Maniac. I think this one was really popular, so you might have seen it. The face, very recognizable. The jump scares here, the puzzles, everything's on point. I think maybe this is one of their newer maps, or newest maps. So I think it shows that they're getting better at world building, map making, all the above. So look forward to see what they have coming next, but this is definitely one that's top tier for scares this season. And while I did play it with my friends, I think this is where I learned you really want to play it solo to make sure that you get the most out of all the jump scares. Run. Oh God! I didn't even see it. Did he get you? They just jump scare you?
Just ran by the door.
Next up, another thumbnail that's gonna make you say, I need to know how scary this is. Horror Motel is a map by Roy Story. Clowns, always creepy, often scary. Motel delivers here. While it has a great environment and atmosphere, also has some really good puzzles. While you're going around collecting, there's some nice difficulty thrown in. And if you were able to do this map without looking up some of the locations of the collectibles, let me know down below. I had to cheat. And last, but certainly not least, we're going back to a Japanese high school for another horror map by Saint. Oh, the jump scares be jumping. This map might have actually just released because I hadn't seen it before, and it's really popular right now, so you might have seen it, but I think there's a reason why. Obviously, a lot of these maps are made by small teams, maybe even one person, so you don't have the normal things like a soundtrack and even some sound effects sometimes, but the silence in this map, some of the silence of these Fortnite maps just kills me. I don't know if it was just when I played it or what it was, but it got me. And the jump scares, hello, were doing their thing. And like a lot of the other maps on this list, there's some collecting thrown in there, but also like a lot of these other maps, the scares, the atmosphere, and everything is just great, and that makes this one definitely one of my favorites. As a little bonus, if you're done, scaring yourself half to death, maybe need a little break from all that, something to relax with, or maybe you want a festive way to complete a lot of the XP quests, you should definitely check out Spooky Fun Run by Tree Fitty. It's a simple fun run that won't spike your heart rate like the rest of these maps. So those are the scariest Fortnite maps I've found this season. There are a lot out there, and that's certainly not taking anything away from any of those, but I definitely think these are some of the best. And this is coming from somebody who's super brave, doesn't get scared easy. Oh, shit. Oh! Ah! Let me know what you guys think of these maps, and if there's any others you want to share, put them down in the comments below. If you're seeing this before the end of October, come join us on Twitch for some live Halloween festivities through the end of the month, and be sure to subscribe here for more festive, fun content and some classic scares. Let me know if you want to see any of my full playthroughs of some of these maps, if you really enjoy me screaming like a child. And happy Halloween. I'll see you on the next one. So glad I did just one more. Good job, well done.